Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're gonna do a little shop my stash. I'm gonna do my makeup using some old products or some products that I haven't used in a while. I also picked up some new makeup when I was down in the States earlier this week, so I'm gonna try that out in today's video as well. I got the Milani Make It Last Sunscreen Setting Spray, so I'm super curious to give this a go. I'm very skeptical of it. I have this new brush to try out, the e.l.f. Putty Primer brush, and some ColourPop matte pressed bronzers. I've already got all my skincare on, so we're ready to go. Let's get started. So I think I'm feeling like starting with my skin today. So let's go ahead and pull a foundation that I haven't used in a while. Here we go. This is the Clé de Peau Radiant Fluid Matte Foundation. I have a full video doing a first impression and review of this foundation, so I'll link that down below if you guys want to check that out. I'm gonna go ahead and give this a go. I remember it needs to be shaken. It's quite liquidy. This foundation, if I remember correctly, costs $170. That's insane. I don't know if any foundation is worth $170, but I guess it all depends on how much money you have. Definitely if $170 sounds like a lot of money to you, then do not buy this. If $170 is just pennies to you, it is a nice formula. And I actually quite like it for the summer because it's super thin and lightweight, but it gives good coverage and is more on the matte side. So it's good if you get hot and sweaty, kind of stays in place a bit longer than something that's more luminous would. Okay, so there's just one pump all over, like gave me all the coverage that I feel like I need. I've got a little bit extra on the back of my hand here, so I'm just gonna bring that down my neck like usual. And for the last few months, I've been using my Milk Makeup Concealer every day. So for today's video, I'm gonna go back to an oldie but a goodie. This is the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. This is in the shade Porcelain, and I'm not going to use too much of it because it is so full coverage. You really do not need much. But honestly, I do think that this might be my favorite formula for concealer. This one and the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Self-Setting, I think, are my two favorites. Maybe I'll just add a little bit on my eyelids too. They're looking especially dark today. And I'll just blend that all in with my sponge because it's quickest. The only thing that I don't love about this concealer is that I seem to have a really hard time finding my color. I was previously using one that was way too yellow for me. So I then picked up this one, which is in the color Porcelain, and I feel like it's maybe too golden. Not too bad, but just also not perfect. Also too dark for me to use at any time of the year except for like peak summer, which luckily it is right now. Here we go. That concealer is very matte too, so my face is feeling very matte right now. Maybe we'll go in with some cream products on top to kind of add a little bit of life back into it. Although I did have a super glowy base on, so you can see a lot of that glow still coming through from underneath, which is kind of my favorite way to do makeup, is to build up the glow underneath, use more matte base products, and then add a little bit of extra glow on top, and then it's perfectly balanced and not like so wet looking. I am gonna set that a little bit though. Every day I use my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finishing Powder, so to switch it up for the Shop My Stash video today, I'm gonna use the only other setting powder that I have, which is the Hourglass Veil Translucent Setting Powder. I usually only use this one when I'm traveling. I prefer to travel with loose powders rather than pressed, just because there's no chance of them breaking in transport. I'm gonna use that to set under my eyes, around my mouth, and through my T-zone. For a translucent powder, this definitely leaves a little bit of a white cast. Speaking of white powders, actually, that reminds me to use my Airbrush Brightening Flawless Finishing Powder. I have this in my Project 10 pan, and even though I did that to try and remind myself to use it more often, I still very rarely actually remember to use this. So I'm just gonna let all of those base products kind of melt into my skin a little bit. So I'm gonna move over to the eyes and just add a little bit of the Laura Mercier eye primer. Okay, eyeshadow. What palette shall I use today? I've actually been doing a good job of kind of rotating through all of my eyeshadow palettes in my day-to-day life recently. I've been using a new one every day, just trying to have a little spice in my life. But one that I haven't used in ages and ages is this one right here. So this is the Amrezy by Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. This is one of my favorite palettes ever. I actually wish that I had gotten a second one of these to use in my freelance kit. I think I will create a look out of here today. There's so much color and glitter and everything in here, but I am feeling a little bit more neutral. I think we might use some of like the lighter colors. I do want to use a base because I have so many different things to use as bases and I so very rarely ever use them. I have a bunch of these Charlotte Tilbury, what are these called? Color Chameleons. They're eyeshadow pencils. This one is in the color Champagne Diamonds. It's a really pretty shimmery champagne. It's got like some pretty big chunks of glitter in it, which is kind of fun. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and apply this as a base all over my lid. With these eyeshadow pencils, I like to work one eye at a time, so I just kind of smudge the color all over my lid, and then I'll go in with my finger to blend them out. They do dry down and set pretty quickly, so if you were to just put it on both eyes and then try to blend it out, you might have some issues. I feel like this needs a sharpen. That is so pretty. I haven't used these in so long. I kind of forgot how like easy that is for an everyday, just like throw it on and go. My last tip for these is when you're done with them, you want to put the cap on and twist it just to get it on there as tight as you can, prevent any air from getting in there. And then you don't have to worry about them drying out. They will last forever. I've literally had this for probably like over 3 years, maybe even more, and it hasn't dried out on me yet. So just close the caps properly and they will last you. Okay, so I've got that pretty kind of champagne-y, sparkly base down. So I think I'm gonna set it with this color in the palette right here, which is called Wasted. It's kind of a pinky, peachy undertone with a little bit of shimmer in it, very similar to the Charlotte Tilbury cream shadow that I just put down. So I feel like they're going to complement each other very nicely. I've been really liking doing a lighter color all over the lid and kind of adding a darker color to smoke it out. I'll show you what I mean in a second here. For ages and ages and like years and years, I've been like a dark smoky eyeshadow kind of gal. I really like to use like dark or colorful colors all over my lid, or do more like halo eye looks where there's just like a pop of brightness in the center. But lately I've really just, I don't know if it's because of the shape of my eyes changing as I get older or what, but I've just really been liking a really light color all over the lid. And then I'm just gonna take something darker, maybe this kind of mid-tone brown in the palette here. This is 1988. Got on a fluffier brush so that it dispenses the product more softly. And I've just been adding that to the outer corner. And then really lightly kind of bringing it up into and above the crease, but not bringing it all the way in. That's another thing that I used to really like to do with my shadow, and I still do. Like literally just yesterday I had brought my shadow all the way into the inner corner, but most days I haven't been bringing it quite as far in. I'm just gonna switch to this rougher number 15 brush, which I love for blending. Okay, so I feel like it's just looking a little patchy, so I'm just gonna go in with the brown again to try and build up the pigmentation here a little bit. So that'll be happening because this color that I'm trying to blend with is so much darker than the color underneath that it's just hard for them to blend together properly without a transition shade, which would be something more kind of in between. So I've used this color, and they're just so far apart in terms of depth that I need something like this in between to help blend, or I can just take the time and sit here and continue to add more pigment and then blend and so on. That's better. I actually really love the way those two colors are looking together. I don't think I've ever used them together before. I do feel like I need to kind of like clean up these outer edges with a little bit of concealer though, so I am gonna do that really quickly. I'm just gonna take a little bit of the Too Faced concealer on the back of my hand and then this little concealer brush, and I'm just gonna clean this up a bit. I probably should have waited until I had done my eyeliner to do this, because then I could also clean up my eyeliner as well, but here we are. I am gonna add just a touch of glitter. I'm gonna use another product from my Project 10 pan, which is this Annabelle Chrome eyeshadow. Look at how gorgeous and reflective this is. So I'm just gonna take a little bit on my finger and then tap that right on the very center of my eyeball and use it like a top coat. I've found this is my favorite way to use this shadow. I've experimented with using it all over the lid as well, or as a base, and I find it can look a little like chunky and patchy when you use it that way, but when you use it as a topper, that kind of chunky look looks really cool and catches the light really pretty. So you can kind of use it in that way on purpose. And yeah, I actually love it as a little topper. Okay, sick. I'm loving my makeup right now. It looks so good. And I'm probably gonna ruin it. But I'm thinking I'm gonna use the Fenty Fly Liner, the liquid longwear liner. I got this for Christmas from Will, and around the winter time I was using it a lot, trying to get used to using a liquid liner. But yeah, I've kind of fallen off it in the last couple months. I've mostly gone back to my pencil and gel liners. So the Fenty Fly Liner is a felt tip, and I just struggle with it. I struggle making thin lines and getting sharp lines out of it. The other day, I accidentally used my Glossier Brow Flick, which is a like eyebrow pen, as my eyeliner, thinking that I was using the Fenty one. It was early in the morning. I wasn't paying attention. But the Glossier Brow Flick is a brush tip as opposed to a felt tip, and I felt like it went on so much easier. So I think I would try liquid liner again, but maybe try a brush tip instead. I do love the color of this Fenty one though. It's such a beautiful, rich, warm brown. Okay, that actually went pretty well considering how much I struggle with liquid liner. I love the way you can use it along the lash line. Like you can get a really nice, sharp, defined line, and it can be really skinny in the inner corner and then kind of thicken on the outer corner. It makes it really easy to do that part. But I really just struggle doing the wing with the liquid liner. I actually extended the liner on my inner corners here as well, which I never really do, but I think looks really kind of cool and fun. Yeah, dude, I'm loving it. I'm loving the way my eyeshadow is looking. Okay, amazing. What shall we do on the bottom? Kind of thinking like maybe a fun pop of color. Like maybe I could use this hot pink along the lower lash line. Or we could just stick with the neutrals. Let's go for it. I'm gonna take the hot pink. Let's play a little bit. I've got it on this little flat definer brush here, and I'm gonna press that in to the lower lash line. My mom is always asking for ways to use the colorful shadows in your palettes, because I know for most people this like hot pink or any of these like brighter colors in here would be very intimidating, and you wouldn't really know like when or how to use them. So this is a really easy, great kind of classic way to incorporate color into a neutral eye look, is to do a pop of it along your lower lash line. I'm super into that. I hope you guys can see the pink like as vivid and vibrant as it is in person on camera. I'm gonna make sure we're focused here, and then I'll zoom in so you can see. It looks sick. And my eyes look so green, which is my favorite thing. I am going to use the only mascara that I have at the moment, which is Maybelline The Falsies. And I feel like these eyes deserve lashes today. I haven't been putting lashes on like at all lately. It has been many months. So let me see if I can even find some glue. Do I need lash glue? Do I have any? What's going on? Oh, found some. Okay, and then I do have some just like random scragglers sitting on my desk here, so I'm gonna throw these on real quick. Okay, that was a struggle. Apparently, if you don't do lashes for months and then try to do them, they won't just easily go on for you. I definitely got lash glue like all over my eyeliner as well, so I'm gonna have to remember to go in and touch that up. They're on. Do I like them? Should I take them off? I think I definitely need to tightline. You can see so much of my upper waterline now that the lashes are on there. So I'm gonna take a brown pencil liner and line on the inside of my eye, on the top. And then while we're at it, maybe I'll do it to the bottom as well. Because why not? Ooh, okay. My eyes are looking very cat-like. I'm into it. I'm digging it. I've been saying digging it a lot lately. I don't know if I'm like reading too many books / like watching too many TV shows that are set in the past, that I'm like uptaking this lingo. I don't know. Anyways, let's move on. I'm really excited to give these a go. These are the ColourPop matte bronzers. I picked these up from Target in the States the other day, and I'm hoping to use these in my makeup kit. But I do want to try them out on myself first. Look how cute the packaging is, and I just love how that's so shitty. So there's glue in the pan. It's not magnetic. It's like not supposed to come out of there. So I'm just gonna take some lash glue and add it in here and then smush this back in. But yeah, what I was saying is if these bronzers are nice, they're gonna be really nice for my kit because of how lightweight and compact they are. And I just thought that the colors looked so beautiful. So I got two. This is the lighter shade. This is Avila Beach. And this is the darker one, Summerland Beach. So I'm gonna try them both. I'm gonna start with the lighter one just so I can see what the color looks like on my skin right now. Okay, so right off the bat, there's good pigmentation in here. It's really nice and warm. It's blending really nicely. I also do prefer a matte bronzer to a glowy one, but even though this is matte, it's not clinging to my foundation at all. Even though my makeup isn't really set in this part of my face, it's just blending really nicely over top. Really nice and warm, like definitely a true bronzer. You wouldn't want to attempt to contour with this shade at all. In my personal makeup, I tend to gravitate more towards shades that can be bronzers and contours because I'm lazy like that. But for my kit, I like to use two separate ones. So one for bronzing and one for contouring. So I've got the KVD contour palette in there right now, and I had some Urban Decay bronzers, but I recently used them all up. So I've been on the hunt for some new ones to add in. That looks really nice. Definitely could do more on my skin right now, although like barely. So I'm gonna just take a little bit of the darker one as well. Just intensify it a little bit. Woo! Here we go. Really nice. I love how they blend. And then I'm gonna bring that down my jaw and my neck too. Because one thing about this Clé de Peau foundation is that it does oxidize throughout the day, so it will get darker. So I want to just bronze my neck to help keep things looking like they're matching. Okay, I really like these. They are also a great deal if you have access to ColourPop, like if you live in the States or you're doing an online order or whatever. I think these are great. Would definitely recommend, especially for the price. They're great. For my blush, I'm gonna use a cream because I want to try this e.l.f. Putty Primer Applicator. So they have a whole putty primer line of products. I've never actually tried any of them. This is cool because it has a little scoop on one side to scoop out the product so that you don't have to stick your fingers in, and then you go in and tap it in with the brush side. I'm just gonna dip right in. I'm not gonna worry about scooping. I think I'm gonna use today Merit Cream Blush. I've been loving these all summer, but I haven't really been using this color. This is the color Cheeky. So it's like a darker, more like plummy, purpley type of blush. I've been gravitating more towards these pinks, like this one right here called Stockholm. So I'm just gonna go straight in with the brush. I've seen, who is it that loves these brushes? I don't know, maybe a couple different people on YouTube who love this brush. And every time I watch people use it, I'm like, I just wanna have that in my life. So I've got some product on the brush here, and I'm gonna go ahead and just start using this to buff it in. So these Merit blushes usually go on so sheer, but you can see here the brush is really getting more pigmentation. I feel like it's kind of picking up my foundation underneath as well, which doesn't usually happen with these blushes. Okay, I definitely went overboard here with the blush. I was not expecting it to come out so pigmented. This is a really good shape, but I definitely put on too much. So what I'm gonna do is just take a little bit more of my foundation and kind of go over top of this to try and just tone it down a bit. Yeah, it's like a darker color than I'm used to using, and then that brush just was like, boom, let me show you what color really is. So yeah, so far so good. I like the size of it, and I'll definitely keep experimenting with it a little bit, and just keep in mind that it really packs on the color. I'm going to just fill in my brows really quickly with the products that I use every day. The Benefit Fluff Up Brow Wax and the Benefit, all the writing has worn off of here and I forget what it's called, but the Tinted Benefit Brow Gel. If you guys watched the Get Ready With Me video that I filmed when I was first coming back to YouTube after I took my little break, I was talking in that video about how I had gotten my eyebrows done and she had made them like way thinner than I was used to. So I'm now in the process of growing them back out, and I'm actually quite relieved to say that I feel like they're actually growing out really quickly. A lot of like the gaps that I feel like she made in them are really starting to fill in. So I'm really happy about that because I thought it was going to take like half a year for them to grow back. But it's only been like a month or something, and they're already starting to get back to normal. Let's do a little bit of highlight. I want to use one that I haven't used in a while. And I was recently watching TikTok, and Jordan, what's her name? Jordan Lipscomb? One of her TikToks came up and she was wearing like pink highlight, which was so the thing in like 2016, 2017, and I have not worn pink highlight in so many years, but I just thought that it looked like so sick on her. So I think I'm gonna do a little bit of pink highlight. The one I have is in this Ancient Carly Bible / ABH Cosmetics palette, and it's right here. It's quite like an icy pink. So I don't know how this is gonna look. Whoa. These highlights in this palette have always been the best. Like in terms of reflect, they are so dramatic. Okay. That definitely needs a little bit of a blend. Oh my god, okay, that looks so bad. Okay, hold on. But I do want to add, she had some like here too. And it just looked so cool. Like, I don't know. I just thought she looked so cool in that video that I saw on TikTok. I want to emulate her. I feel like maybe I could even add a little bit of this to my eyeshadow. Should I? I'll just add a little bit like right here. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, now we just need to blend. So I'm gonna start with where I put it on my eyes first and just blend it out a bit. And then I need to blend on my face. So I'm just gonna use a fluffier brush with no product on it and really kind of like work it in. And then I'm gonna go back in, actually, can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm gonna go back in with the cream blush, kind of right here and right here. Just to kind of make it more one with my skin. I actually almost feel like I need a little bit of bronzer because now it's very pink on my cheeks and I feel like we've lost the bronze. So I'm gonna go back in with the darker of the ColourPop bronzers and just add a little bit. And then last but not least, we need a lip. So what kind of color would go with this look? Maybe like a really pale nude. I'm gonna start with some lip liner. So this is Iconic Nude by Charlotte Tilbury. Stunning, one of the best lip liners that I've ever used. Still to this day, I've been using it for years and years and I still love it every time I put it on. And then I'm gonna use this Velvet Lip Glide from NARS. I bought this when I was working at Holtz, so like 2017, 2018, and I basically never use it. It's just these types of colors aren't really, I don't know, that popular anymore, and I never really do my makeup so dramatic where I feel like I need this nude of a lip. I'm just gonna add it kind of to the center and then softly blend it out. I don't know if NARS still makes these, but they're really lightweight and comfortable. They're not like a liquid lipstick where they dry down matte. They're kind of in between like a matte lipstick and a lip gloss. They're interesting, but like really comfortable, and this color's really pretty. This is Stripped. Okay, now the step that I feel like could ruin it all. I want to try this setting spray. So I've been so curious about these setting sprays that have SPF in them. I bought this specifically for touching up throughout the day because I always want to reapply my sunscreen, but half the time I have makeup on and so I can't. Or sometimes I forget to put on my sunscreen and then I put on my makeup and I'm like, oh, I didn't put on SPF, which is the worst. So this is not going to give like a full SPF 30 like it says is in the bottle, just because I feel like you don't really put on enough of it. But I feel like just a little bit of extra SPF can't hurt. I'm afraid of this because of two things. Number one, sunscreen is always so like oily, so I feel like I'm gonna just spray this all over my face and it's gonna make my face so oily and dewy and like just like too glowy and a mess. But it is a setting spray, like it says make it last, so it shouldn't be like that. So we'll see. And then the other thing is I'm afraid of my eyes. So I feel like if I'm like spraying it into my face, it's gonna get in my eyes and I'm gonna have burning eyeballs. So let's see what happens. Close eyes, hold bottle 8 to 10 inches away from face and spray in zigzag formation. Do not spray directly into eyes. Keep eyes closed for 3 seconds after applying. Okay. That scares me and makes me think that it is going to burn my eyes. Okay, I'm gonna close them and we're just gonna apply the same amount that I would normally apply with my other setting sprays. Oh. Okay, it smells like straight up alcohol. And I think it's definitely scented as well. There's like a perfume kind of scent. Okay, I'm gonna open my eyes. Okay. I feel like my worst fears have come true. And I just look like a greasy, oily mess. So what I'm gonna do actually is just sit here and let that completely dry. And then I'll come back to you guys and we'll see how it's looking after it like fully dries down on my face. Okay, it's been a couple of minutes. I feel like it has completely dried, or like as much as it will dry. So it has not burned my eyes whatsoever. Like I feel like no stinging in my eyes whatsoever. So that's good, but it has definitely added a layer of glow all over my face. I talked about this recently in my setting spray video where I compared the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray to the Urban Decay setting spray. And I said that I probably wouldn't buy this again because I don't like the fact that it leaves a dewy finish on my skin. I also have the Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist, and this is exactly the same. It just leaves like this layer of glow over my entire face that I feel like makes me look so oily. I love dewy skin and I love a glow, but I feel like it's important to target the glow and get it in the areas where you want it. So like I said, I like to do a dewy base and then go over top with a matte foundation, and then specifically target areas like the tops of my cheekbones, high points above my brow, inner corners of my eyes, maybe the tip of my nose. I don't just want glow all over my face. And I feel like when you use a dewy setting spray, that is just what you're gonna get. So if you're someone who likes a setting spray that adds glow, then I feel like you would like this. I can't speak to like if it actually helps my makeup last longer. I'll have to try it out for a little while and I can update you guys in a vlog about what I think about that. But yeah, I definitely feel like I need to just add a little bit of powder, especially kind of like here through the center of my face and like on my nose. There we go. That's better for me. Now the glow is just a little bit more targeted. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I'm gonna say the standout from the new products for me was these bronzers. I really like the Summerland Beach. Like, I feel like it looks gorgeous on my forehead. I had tons of fun playing with some old favorites and some new makeup with you guys today. If you guys like this style of video, please make sure you give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below so that I know that you like it and then I can make more of them. Thank you so much for watching. The end screen is going to show you guys some other videos of mine that you might like. So definitely go ahead and check those out, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.